Welcome to the first chapter of your 10th standard mathematics, which is real numbers. If you have seen the basics of mathematics course, in the very first video we studied different kinds of number system. We started off with natural numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. We did not have a zero there. We discussed problems related to that as well. And then we have a set of whole numbers where the numbers will start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Then we studied integers where we had positive numbers, negative numbers and 0. And finally we ended up with rational numbers, which dealt with fractions. So rational numbers are those numbers which can be written in the form of p by q. Essentially it's a fraction where q is not equal to 0. The denominator should not be equal to 0. The first chapter of your 10th standard deals with real numbers. Now question is, what are real numbers? So to understand that one, we will study what are the first properties of rational numbers. Let's take a simple rational number. Let's take for example 1 by 2. So what I will do, this is of the form p by q. I will try to convert into decimal. So 1 by 2, if I have to convert this one into decimal, I hope you know how to do this division. So this comes out as 2, if I put the decimal, it becomes 10, so it is 0.5. So it is 0.5. So this is one rational number. So 1 by 2, this is 0.5. So let's take one more example. Let's take for example 5 by 8. So if you take 5 by 8, again let me divide this one. This will be 0.50. 8 6 are 48, 2 remained, 8 2s are 16, 4 remained, 5s are 40. So it is 0.625. Let's take one more example. Let's take for example 7 by 3. So if I take 7 by 3, again this is of the form p by q. So let's convert this one into decimal. So it becomes 3 2s are 6, 2.1 remained. So it will be 2.33333 and so on. So it's if you see 3 is repeating infinite times. Let's take one more example of 11 by 7. So this will be 7 1s are 1.4 remained. So it becomes, after putting decimal, this becomes 40. So it is 7 5s are 35. So 5 remained. So this becomes 50. So 7 7s are 49. 1 remained. So this becomes 10. 7 1s are 7. 3 remained. And this becomes 30. So 7 4s are 28. 2 remained. Then 20. So it is 7 2s are 14. Again 6 remained. It becomes 60. 7 8s are 56. 4 remained. Once 4 remained, it becomes now 40. 40 is 7 5s are 35. If you see, this remainder now starts repeating now. 4 remained. 7 5s are 35. So 5 remained. So again 7 7s are 49. Again 1 remained. It becomes 10. 7 1s are 7 and so on. This remainder keeps repeating, and if you see, the decimal part also starts repeating now. So it is 1.571428, 571428, 571428 and so on. So this part will actually keep repeating. So this is 1.571428, 571428, 571428 and so on. So if I have to write this one in recurring, if you see this one, this is recurring decimal. So this one in simple form, I can write it like this: 1.57448. If I write a overhead line, then it shows that this part is repeating continuously. Even this one I can write it like this: 2.3 overhead. So it's like 3 repeating infinite number of times. So what do you see here? So what do you see here is that, or let's take one more example of, let's say 9 by 3. So 9 by 3 is another example. This is essentially 3. So 3.0. So if you see any rational numbers, the properties are very simple. Either it will be a integer. If the numerator is divisible by denominator, the answer will be an integer, or it will be a terminating decimal like this, 0.5, 0.625. We will see the conditions in which it will be terminating very soon in this chapter itself. Okay, so either it can be an integer or it can be a terminating decimal. If it's not terminating, it will definitely be a recurring decimal. So it's like this: 2.333571428. You can try any examples you want. Okay, you take your popular example of 22/7, which is pi value. Okay, which is actually approximate value of pi, but you can take it as 2.22/7 and check out what will be the decimal expansion. You take any fraction you want and try to convert into decimal. So it will be either of these three cases: either it will be an integer, or it will be a terminating decimal, or it will be a non-terminating but recurring decimal. So such numbers we call it as rational numbers. Now the question is, what happens if it is non-terminating and it is not repeating? If it is not terminating and not repeating, such numbers itself are called as irrational number. That is the new set of numbers that we are going to study is irrational numbers. So irrational numbers, these are non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. For example, you randomly write any number, 1.34121623 and so on. This is a non-repeating, non-terminating decimal. So this number is an irrational number. So where do we popularly see this one? Popular examples are square root 2, square root 3, square root of any non-perfect integer, non-perfect square. If you take, such numbers will always be an irrational number. Or you can even take cube root of 5, cube root of any non-perfect cube is again an irrational number. Or you can write it in general, nth root of any number which is not a perfect power of n. Okay, so any such numbers are classified as irrational numbers. Okay, so till now you have studied up to rational numbers. Here we are studying irrational numbers, and we are going to prove that this actually is an irrational number. Although we have not done this one, you can use your calculator and check square root 2, what comes as the answer. If you check the calculator, it will be, when you see the decimal expansion, you will see that it is not repeating and non-terminating answer. So it's essentially an irrational number. You can try that using the square root. Okay, but here in class we are going to prove that this is actually an irrational number by proving that this cannot be expressed in the form p by q. We are going to do that very shortly. Okay, now what are real numbers? Real numbers are collection of both rational numbers and irrational number. Irrational number and rational numbers. So rational numbers and irrational numbers together make real numbers. So in this chapter we are going to deal with the properties of real numbers, and we are going to prove that in fact these numbers are irrational numbers. And we are also going to study one important theorem called as Euclid's division lemma, which is extremely effective theorem in the field of maths. Okay, we are going to study them very shortly.